turbocharged cars, the first two fastest. Cosworth Ford Powers cars, third and fourth fastest. And then behind them, Elio De Angelis, fifth fastest. Derek Warwick, it's go any second now, and it's 75 laps. Keke Rosberg slews away and hits Arnou's car and goes straight into the lead. Keke Rosberg has surged away. He's got past Arnoux. He's got past Patrick Tambay as they go down to Shoreline underneath the Camus Bridge, now into turn one, and it is Tambay leading, and it's Rosberg second. It's Laffite last year is leading here at Long Beach.
Well, by Keke Rosberg, he definitely got the jump on the others from the first two rows, but he got a little bit too much wheel spin. The back started getting very loose and sliding about, and had a little bump there, but no damage apparently to anybody. And Rosberg's done very well to get to second place off the second row of the grid.
And an amazing performance. In sixth position is the American driver, Danny Sullivan, and off goes Rosberg. Rosberg spins it completely, but only loses second position. Up into second place goes Arnoux, down to third goes Rosberg, and down to fourth now because Laffite's passed him. And coming up through the field is Riccardo Patrese, who was only 12th fastest.
Here we see Rosberg spinning again. He locked up his rear wheels under braking then, which gave him no grip at the back, but he got a little bit lucky, because when you're spinning you don't really know which way you're going to end up facing. Rosberg spun it round and round, the car ended up facing roughly the right way, and he only dropped one place. Quite amazing.
Well, René Arnoux is not having a very happy race because he was hit by Rosberg at the beginning, and now Michele Alboreto has bundled his way past into fourth place. Michele Alboreto, number 3 in the green Benetton Tyrrell. There he is with Arnoux behind him. So on the second lap, it is Tambay leading, it is Laffite second, it's Rosberg third, it's Alboreto, it is Arnoux, and then it is Patrese. But there is the Frenchman, Patrick Tambay, car number 27, the turbocharged V6 Ferrari, and look at the way Rosberg is flying through the field.
Yes, Rosberg really driving like a world champion, driving with lots of confidence and everything, and really attacking things, driving very aggressively, very much like Alan Jones drove the year after he won the World Championship, where he had a new confidence and a new aggression that made him a better driver. I think this happens to a lot of world champions when they come out the year afterwards. They drive with real fire, and that's what we're seeing from Rosberg.
And you will notice at that point a terrific bump on the course. It was causing a lot of trouble in practice. It's had 3 tons of concrete put down, but there's still a big bump there. And Derek Warwick there is being passed by Mark Surer.
Yes, Derek Warwick's days look a little bit numbered to me here. He was smoking badly on the warming up lap, and there were puffs of smoke looking like a bit of oil coming out of somewhere on his car and getting onto the exhaust. And if he's leaking oil, it's unlikely that he's going to be able to go the full distance. But another good qualifying performance by Warwick in the Tolman, and they must be very pleased indeed with their performance this year, having qualified so well in Brazil, and their testing has gone so well. They've maintained the form here. They just need to find good reliability. There is Tambay, who really is driving very well indeed. He's vastly improved since he first came into Formula One. Always get very emotional about their drivers, and he's the popular man at the moment compared with Arnoux amongst the team, and he's assumed it very well.
And out there goes Winkelhock, Manfred Winkelhock, the German driver in the turbocharged BMW-powered ATS. His race has not lasted very long. He's gone out on lap 3. It looks to me as though there's some debris in the background. It's probably the front wing, but there is Keke Rosberg in second place. Laffite Alboreto are driving superb races because Jacques Laffite was very unhappy and not at all successful in practice at Brazil. He came good in the race by finishing in 4th position, but in practice here at Long Beach, he's done extremely well. He's finished in 4th position for practice, but Michele Alboreto, the man who is tipped as a world champion of the future and a possible Ferrari driver when his Tyrrell contract runs out this year, is right on the tail of Jacques Laffite, who is in 3rd position. So now, on lap 4, it is Patrick Tambay leading. We are looking at the second place man as Manfred Winkelhock tries to drive his car away and get it off the course. There is Keke Rosberg, who is second. Behind him, Jacques Laffite. Behind Jacques Laffite in 4th position is Michele Alboreto. And it is Ford Cosworth powered cars second, third, fourth. And then in 5th place, René Arnoux. and behind René Arnoux is Patrese. Watch for Riccardo Patrese in the Brabham. There's Arnoux, and there is Patrese. Now it's getting very close indeed, the battle for third, fourth, fifth and sixth. An American wife, and he really came good last year when he took the place of Gilles Villeneuve, his late great friend, who was so tragically killed in Belgium. And when Didier Pironi was injured in Germany, Patrick Tambay really stepped into the breach, won the German Grand Prix, and proved what a really fine driver he is. And now Keke Rosberg just showing Tambay his car, but dropping back a bit.
Yes, Rosberg would dearly love to get past Tambay now, because if he could just get himself in front of Tambay he could reasonably rely on to hold up the rest of the field, and he would stand a good chance of putting some air between himself and the rest, because there's no doubt at the moment that given a clear track in front of him, he would be able to pull away from the field. But it is this problem of getting past the all-powerful Ferrari, and he has this huge horsepower disadvantage.
And I think you can start running the flags out in Australia. Alan Jones is coming up through the field. He is now in 12th position in his first Grand Prix drive since Las Vegas in 1981, driving a strange car with an injured leg on a
layoff as long as Alan's had is not the place ready to make your comeback. He wanted to do that. I have to say, though, in contrast to that, Long Beach is a circuit that Alan has always enjoyed a great deal, has always done very well at, but really it's very physically demanding. When you've got a broken leg and a big gut after so many Fosters, it does make life a little bit difficult to come back at such a hot and hard work circuit physically. But Alan really is doing marvellously well. Let's hope he can keep it up.
Well, so is Patrick Tambay. He's not put a wheel wrong, and as James said, provided he keeps his cool, and that is Derek Warwick out of the race, obviously, and he's giving it a bit of the old fire extinguisher. He's taken it off the fire marshal. A lot of the drivers do this because the fire marshals are apt to be a bit over-enthusiastic and drown the car in extinguisher fluid or powder.
We drove possibly better with a new confidence and new aggression in the driving, that we both made mistakes that we might not have made the year before in overconfident situations that possibly cost us important races. And I'm going to be interested to watch Rosberg this season, because I'm very impressed by the way he's driving. I'll be interested to see whether his confidence takes him into any mistakes. It was significant to me that at the start he slid his car into Arnoux beside him at the start, and that was just the sort of little tiny bit of overconfidence that can sometimes cost races, and they're very important ones. But at the moment, he's doing absolutely beautifully, having recovered from that little error, because that could have cost either him or Arnoux some damage to put him out of the race. He's got the thing really together now.
And there is Jarier in the Ligier. He first of all moved up to 6th position, and now he's really got his act in order, and he's just passed Riccardo Patrese, and I can tell you that Eddie Cheever has disappeared off our lap charts. So,
you know, the point is that the advantage is always with the guy behind in a dice. No, and De Angelis has spotted them and behaved in a proper and professional manner that one would expect from him now as an established Grand Prix driver. He was looking in his mirrors and did the proper and professional thing.
1/3 distance, lap 25 out of 75, and it is still Patrick Tambay leading, and there is the gap between him and Keke Rosberg, and it has seldom been greater than this for the whole race. Jacques Laffite driving magnificently in only his second drive in the Tag Williams after Brazil, his first, is in 3rd position, but dropping back at the moment. In 4th position, it is Riccardo Patrese, and into the pits comes Arnoux in the Ferrari. That was obviously Arnoux' problem. His tyres must have been going off. Now, he only finished in 10th position in Brazil. He had to be lifted out of the car, absolutely exhausted. Now he has had to come into the pits, and I think that was one of the arrows going through in the background. So that means either...
Oh dear, they're going to touch. And I'm afraid that Tambay should have seen him then. I hope Rosberg has no damage, because I have to say, I will look again at the action replay, but that appeared to me that Rosberg had got inside Tambay, and Rosberg did receive damage because he's pulled off the course, and what a great shame. And I have to say that did look like a bad mistake by Patrick Tambay, because Rosberg was inside him and he seemed to turn in. Now, Rosberg is is well down up the course. Tambay should see him, and he drove over his front wheel, and he really, I think, should have given him room. It was a little bit marginal because Rosberg was not fully alongside him, but he was an experienced Grand Prix driver, really would have known that Rosberg was committed, and there was no doubt about that. He was fishtailing a little bit. His rear brake balance obviously wasn't quite right because his rear brakes had locked up a little bit then, and he blew up, because had he ever managed to get round me, and I was weaving about and making my car very wide, even to the best overtaker in the business, had he ever managed to get round me, he would have pulled away at more than a second a lap. But that's the way things go, and I was very relieved to see him break down. Anyway, he's not having any problems with this one. All he's got is to, as they say, stand up, and he's got it home and dry.
And he's about to lap the 7th place man, Mark Sura, in the Arrows. That's Alan Jones's teammate, if Mark moves over and lets him through. There's Niki Lauda going through, not John Watson. And John Watson and Lauda are the first and second most experienced drivers in the race. And here are Eddie Cheever and René Arnoux, who is really charging up through the field. Arnoux is in 6th place, Cheever is in 5th place, Lafitte is 4th. In 3rd position, it is Patrese.
Oh, and hang on, and there's the Renault. Eddie Cheever has stopped, possibly a blow-up. It was certainly very sudden and very terminal looking. As I say, Arnoux may well, once he got clear of the Renault, if he'd been throwing any oil or muck onto his visor, he would have just been wiping it. Now, you can use your overall sleeve. Eddie Cheever, a little display of disappointment there, lobbing the glove on the ground, but I don't think he should be disappointed if something went wrong with his car, which obviously it did, because there was obviously nothing wrong with him. He naturally very tired, sitting down and having a rest, but I think he should be more pleased than disappointed. Pleased with his own performance, obviously disappointed with the lack of a result after those efforts, but I would think, certainly from what I've seen of him, I would say that that's one of the best races he's driven in his career, and he shouldn't be disappointed with that at all. Yes, I noticed Watson now taking very conservative lines through the corner, not swinging out wide through that double left-hander just before, giving himself plenty of space. They're supposedly inferior Ford Cosworth engines for the time being, as very interesting favourites. And here Watson takes the checkered flag.
Well, the 5th win for John Watson, and with Niki Lauda about 20 seconds behind now. John will, of course, be absolutely overjoyed. It means that Niki Lauda will be moving into the lead